IBOS MusicXML Reader, the software design and navigation.
This video is going to be about navigation within the IBOS MusicXML Reader, and as an introduction I'm going to tell you what I'm going to cover in this video, and that is that the software has been designed in an intuitive manner, that we using principles familiar in other software that we know, such as Microsoft Word. And it behaves like any other Windows application, which means that it has different parts on the screen. It has different areas, windows and frames where information is being presented on screen, and you can move around them. And what I'm also going to cover here are a few of the about 80 different shortcut keys that we have built into the software. And I'll be demonstrating some of these things in the coming minutes in this video.
The software design.
Now, with the music score open as a sort of so that I can explain how the software is designed, roughly speaking, we are dealing with two main areas on the screen. The software is made up of two main parts on screen, apart from the menus. To the left on the screen, we have got the filter, which we're going to cover in a later video, in another video. And then the filter is where we make all the adjustments about how we want to work with the music, like a control panel. And to the right on the screen, we've got the actual notes, the actual music. So we can actually, with the tab key, go over there and start working with the piece, reading it, having it played back. And how this is being presented is what we control to the left on the screen. And then on the right hand side on the screen, on screen, we have got the actual music, the result, so to speak.
How to navigate in IBOS MusicXML Reader.
So now I'm going to show the actual navigation. All navigation can be performed using the keyboard or a foot switch, which you can connect via the USB port. But for this demonstration I'll be using the keyboard, so you can see how this is done with basic navigation. And I'm going to load an example now. So from the keyboard, I'm going to first demonstrate how to open an actual score. What is going to be one of the examples that I included, which is very appropriately Hotel California. And then I'm going to be showing you how to navigate the score using standard navigation commands. So I will start by opening a score, and I'm going to start by pressing Ctrl O, and then going to navigate to the actual score. So I'm going to do that now. And I'm on the Explorer pane of the software. It comes up there. Stop there. I'm on the normal, File Explorer pane that you'll find in most programs, standard programs. And I'm going to Shift Tab a couple of times until I get to the list of folders in the IBOS MusicXML Reader area of the computer now. And I'm going to arrow down to Samples. Samples are there. I'm going to hit Enter. And it obviously opens up the Samples folder, which you will also find in your copy of the software if you download it, which we hope you'll do, of course. I'm going to hit H until I get to Hotel California.
H, Hotel underline California underline full underline info.
Nice, it was the first time I hit the letter H, I landed right on there. I'm going to hit Enter to open that particular score.
Enter.
Now it's got the score open, it plays the note it lands on. And I'm on the first note of this particular score. And in order to do this, now I'm going to mention some of the basic navigation commands. You will find around 80 or more of these in the help file in the menu. We've got a link called help, and there you will find the full list of shortcuts. So I'm going to hit Control Home now to make sure I'm at the beginning of the music score. It's done now. And now I'm going to move. We can then use the arrow keys to move around. So obviously the right arrow key will take you forward in time in the score, and the left arrow key will take you backwards in the music score. And I'm going to do that now. And if you to move note by note.
D382 of 171.
And it actually reads out the value of the note and it plays them back.
D48 legato start 3 of
This is a
100.
D and the fourth beat and so on.
D48 legato stop 4 of 171.
And then do the control home to go all the way to the beginning.
Measure 1 post colon 4 dash quarters key colon.
And if I wanted to move all the way to the end of the score, I would do control end. I'll do it now.
The end 171 of 171.
And it actually says the end. I'm going to do control home again.
Measure 1 post colon 4 dash quarters key colon major or minor G dash clip.
And it reads out a whole string of information there. And if it also says the number of which measure I am in this particular score. So if I want to go to a particular measure, I would do another useful keystroke, which is Control G, and then type in the number of the measure I want to go to. And I'll do that now.
Control G, go to measure, O to measure, edit combo, to set the value, use the arrow keys or type the value, O to measure, edit combo, to set the value, use the arrow.
And I'll mute JAWS there, and actually JAWS help. JAWS verbosity help tutor messages will speak out what I can do here. I will type in 12 and then hit enter.
12, enter, note list, measure 1 post colon 4 dash quarters key colon major or minor G dash clip F dash sharp 4 quarter D4 quarter D3 quarter D4 8 measure 12 or 4 quarter roll measure.
It says measure 12.
71.
As you arrow over the note, you will actually hear changes. If I want to move yet another measure forward, I could add the control key to the arrow key and then do a control right arrow.
Measure 13 D3 quarter.
It says measure 13, all right, and do it again.
Measure 14 D3 quarter D3 quarter roll.
And I can go backward the same way by adding the control key to the left arrow key.
Measure 13 measure 12 or 4 measure 11 to 3 quarter measure.
Presentation of the notes.
There are different ways of having the notes, working with the notes, having them presented to you as a user. You can focus on the textual representation of the notes. And the keystroke to do that is Control with the letter T.
Control T, note filter tree view, text representation checked, right.
And we are placed directly in the filter, which we have dedicated as a separate presentation to, obviously. So this was to focus on the textual part of the representation. So the name of the notes, what's displayed on screen. Now go back into the notes with the tab key.
Tab, note list,
And then I can do the speech on demand again to start playback.
space, speech on demand.
And I do a space bar to start playback. And it stops there with the spacebar key again. Obviously, the sound is a bit different might be different on your computer if you have a different sound font installed on all these things. This is a fairly standard equipment that I'm using for this demonstration, so the sound is MIDI sound, obviously, but it's audible. It's possible to listen to the music before studying it. That might be a scenario you want to have to load a piece and see how it sounds before you start studying it in detail. If we want to focus on the music Braille part, so we do a Control B.
Control B, level 0, Braille music representation checked.
And that's done there. It says checked. You can obviously, with the spacebar key, you can check and uncheck.
How to use IBOS XML Reader with a Braille note taker.
In this demonstration, I'm going to show you how that it's possible to navigate the music score from a Perkins-style Braille keyboard. To illustrate this, we are having it run on an Braille 14, which is a Windows-based Braille note taker, with the 14 Braille cells and the full Perkins Braille keyboard. And what I'm going to show is that we can navigate the software beat one note at a time and one measure at a time by using standard navigation commands.
Example using Braille.
So now I've just opened open the music score. For this demonstration I'm using Hotel California, and I'm going to show you how to navigate directly from the Perkins style Braille keyboard here. And you will be able to hear the sound from this is a system in Danish. Sorry about that, but you can sort of make out, because as you hear the JAWS verbiage, the JAWS speech, you can also hear the playback of the music. So I guess you'll be able to know where we are in the music score. And I'm going to go to the first note in a bit. I'm using the normal navigation found in Word, so that would be, from a Braille keyboard, it would be dots 1, 2, 3 chord. And it's reading. I stopped the speech there. I went to the top of the file, which we all know in Word is Control Home on a regular keyboard. It's going to read and what measure I'm in and which notes are in the chord. I can read all that on the Braille display. I'm reading a bit here, so this is the first measure, so on and so forth. But I will try now to go one note forward in the score by pressing the right arrow key, which from a Braille display is .6 chord. And it's reading what note it is, and I can read all the other, it's an eighth and so on, read it in text here on the Braille display. I'll just go back and press one more time right arrow. I landed on a D note, stop the speech there, I landed on the D note, and so on and so forth. I could also use the left arrow key to go back, obviously, which is .3 chord, so I'll do that. .3 chord took me one note back. Right, so I'm trying to go now one measure forward, which is Control right arrow, and I'll do that right now. So it put me on the second measure. I'll do it once again. So it always speaks out the notes at the position, at the time position where we are at right now, and also speaks out the texts and the name of the note. It shows the notes in Braille as well. So I'm not a musician, so I will not read this aloud to you, but for those of you who know music Braille, you will find the notes on the display as well. You will hear the music, and you will be able to review in text if you are not familiar with music Braille or want to brush up on it, and you can go and see what's on the display in clear text and verbiage with words, so to speak, what the name of the note is. And that's basically it. I could go to the end by doing a .456 chord. And it says slot in Danish, which is the end. So that's basically how to navigate a music score directly from a Perkins style keyboard. This time on an L Braille. It could also be a normal Windows computer with another screen reader and another Braille display from a different manufacturer. But I think you got the idea by now.